over the weekend. Bill Belichick did not draft a quarterback and afterwards said that it wasn't by design, but that's how things happen to play out. So, Shannon, please give Belichick a letter grade for me on his draft.
C-. What the hell you mean, Skip? They're 255, 260 players. You got draft picks and you talking about it's not how it played out. You move back up to draft a player. Teams move up and down, Skip. When they want a player, they move up to get him. So if you wanted a quarterback, Skip, this was by design. He made sure he did not get a quarterback. It seems to me he's moving ahead with Stead, as he calls him. But, Skip, it seems to me that they loaded up on the defensive side of the football, and they're going to play the brand of football that they played last year. Because if you look at it, Skip, how many games can you honestly say Tom Brady won them last year? He said every time that a team got over 17 points, we lost. So if we can keep a team to below 17, why can't Stead win a few games for us? And I think, Skip, it looks to me that they're getting younger because they went defense the first three picks. They went Doug out of Lenore Ryan, they went Uche out of Michigan, and they went Jennings out of Alabama. So it seems to me they're getting younger because they were the oldest team on both sides of the football last year with an age of almost 30. So it seems to me, Skip, they're going to gear up to play defense again. They're going to try to lead the league in scoring defense, keep the points to a minimum, not put this kid in harm's way and ask him to win games because they're like, well, hell, it wasn't like Tom won game for us last year because anytime a team got more than 17, we lost. So I believe Stead can do that. They did take two tight ends, Skip. I guess they tried to have the success that they had in 2010. Remember the last time they took two tight ends in the draft? It was 2010, Skip, if I'm not mistaken, when they got Gronk and they took Hernandez. So maybe they're going to try to do that again back-to-back. They took that in the third round. So, Skip, I give them a C-. And then they got a kicker that all of a sudden he getting random tattoos, Skip, that he don't know the meaning of, but he doesn't know the meaning of what the tattoo means, but I'm going to get it covered up now because it doesn't represent what I thought it represent, or it represents something that I don't want to associate myself with. Hint, hint.
Hint, hint. Given my expectation for Bill Belichick in this draft, given the fact that, silly me, I thought he would manipulate and dominate this draft from the outset, I got to give him a D. I don't get it because, Shannon, he did next to nothing in free agency while he lost a parade of free agents, as we know. He cut Gostkowski. He took said kicker, and I'm with you. I still got a big problem with that tattoo. But Mel Kiper had a problem with him taking that kicker because Mel thought another kicker was much better. Mel Kiper had no use for the two tight ends that Belichick took. Maybe Bill knows more than Mel does. I don't know. But I kept waiting for maybe a quarterback, so he passed on Jordan Love because he traded out a 23 in the first round where he could have taken him. And then Jalen Hurts, no. And then Bo Eason, you know, he had 3 shots at Bo Eason in the third round before he went in the fourth. And then that kid, James Morgan, that some people liked out of FIU, who went to the Jets in the fourth round. That was a pick that Belichick had traded to the Jets. So he apparently didn't even want James Morgan. So I have a hard time thinking it wasn't by design you didn't take a quarterback. No, it looks like it was completely by design because you had your shots. And then I look at the rest of the draft and, you know, Josh Uche, I've always liked him. He would flash for me when I watch Michigan. So I'm going to give you a good mark on that grade. But Anthony Jennings for Alabama, I watched so much Alabama last year. He never caught my eye one time. Never did I say, wow, that kid's got a shot. That kid's got a future. I don't get it, and a lot of people didn't get it. So we're back to Kyle Duggar's your first pick. And, Shannon, you came from a smaller school, Savannah State, but this is Lenore Ryan. And I don't know. I would suggest that your Savannah State, what were they, the Tigers? Is that what they are? I think they're Tigers.
We're the Tigers,
that they played Tigers, yeah. They played a tougher schedule when you were at Savannah State than Lenore Ryan is playing now. So, again, I could project Shannon Sharpe as a dominating smaller school player than I could Kyle Duggar as sort of a, a jack of all trades in the secondary where he can play safety, he could play some slot corner, he could play some linebacker. I'm sure Belichick can use him a lot of different ways, but there's some risk when you take Lenore Ryan because are you sure he's going to translate? Well, that was your first pick that you made, albeit in the second round. Yeah, and I'm thinking, gee, did you get significantly better on draft week? No, I don't see it. I'm sorry, Shannon. I think Belichick is in trouble going into next year.
Skip, I think the thing with Kyle Duggar is that, Skip, he tested very well. Skip, 42-inch vertical. He ran a very fast time. He seems explosive. And so, Coach Belichick like guys that can play multiple positions. He likes, if you notice, Skip, he'll get a guy out of Alabama because Coach Saban, he'll jump in 3-4. He'll play the 43. So he needs guys that are versatile, guys that can rush from a lot of different positions. So I'm not surprised that he took Anthony Jennings. Because he likes those Alabama-type guys. But what I've noticed about Coach Belichick, Skip, he likes to get guys that you and I think, well, who is that guy? Or a lot of people like, well, who is that guy? When he took Gostkowski, hell, nobody knew who he was. And he's just the all-decade kicker. Malcolm Butler. Like, Malcolm Butler? And all he did was make the greatest defensive play in Super Bowl history. So what Coach Belichick likes to do, Skip, he likes to take guys. If you look at the guys that he ended up losing, Jamie Collins was nothing when he went to Cleveland, got the big money. He came back, and then all of a sudden he turned in Kyle Van Noy. You're like, Kyle Van Noy, Detroit let him go. And then he goes to Coach Belichick, plays well, and he parlays that into a big payday for Miami. So what Coach Belichick likes to do, Skip, is take guys that does not have big names, that's really selfless, nobody knows a whole lot about them, get them, and then turn them into something. He's like, see? That's what coaching. So Coach Belichick, he likes to coach. Skip, a lot of guys don't like to coach. A lot of that guy can't play. Well, if you coach him up, he probably could play better. Everybody's not at the same skill level, Skip, where you just bring them out of college and you just plug them in like a Peyton Manning, or you just plug them in like an Andrew Luck, or some of these Aaron Donalds. Sometimes you have to coach the guy up, get his technique a little better, and you'll have something on your hands. And I believe that's what Coach Belichick does. But if you look at his first 3 picks, Skip, it's not an accident he put him on the defensive side of the football. He wants to play a certain style, and he believes with the quarterback that he has, he's capable of playing that style.
Okay, I'm going to suggest to you that I'm going to be ahead of the curve on this one. I say Belichick is in danger of getting fired as the GM of the New England Patriots because we've seen the trades, the Jimmy G trade, the Gronk trade, the Sanu traded 4 that he gave up the 2 for this year for a guy who just can't play. And now I'm seeing this draft and I'm saying, well, we'll see. But if it doesn't start panning out fairly quickly, I think that Robert Kraft is going to say, wait a second, should he be wearing both those hats? I don't know. And then my final point to you, Shannon Sharpe, is you have made me a bet that New England will finish better next year, have a better record than Tom Brady's Tampa Bay. And I'm sorry, I love that bet. I gave you a chance the other day. Do you want out of it for just 1 case instead of 5? And you said you'd sleep on it. I'll make that bet again, or I'll give you that offer again. If you want out, you can have out for 1 case right now.
But, Skip, there's still a possibility we might get Cam or Andy Dalton. And so I'll feel a little better if we were to get Cam or Andy Dalton. So, but Coach Belichick, Skip, it ain't looking good. And true story, Skip, Lenore Ryan tried to recruit me when I was coming out of high school.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
How about
They'd
that?
Got a good one.
There you have it. All right.
Yeah, they would have.
Shannon, good luck on that bet. You might be in trouble. We're going to move on from Tom's old team to his new one. Did the Bucs get a little bit more help for Brady during the draft? We dive into